What's up, everybody? We are live in the booth. And thank you all for watching, sharing, subscribing, all of that. And so I wanted to come to you all with a quick video. It's probably not going to be quick. I always say it's going to be quick, but usually never is. I'm a Gemini rising, so I tend to babble and ramble, and I tend to, talk a lot. I also have a South Node in the 3rd house. So, communication, and it's in Leo. So communication and like being able to articulate and express myself through written, verbal, all of that, is something that is near and dear to my heart. So I say short video, but girl, So, I wanted to do the story of the Zodiac and kind of just go through the different energies of the Zodiac, and how I feel like, how I'm starting to feel like, they say like Pisces is the end, but it's just like, I feel like Pisces is like the bridge. It's just like the bridge of which everyone starts, instead of it being ranked in like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I just feel like, okay, it's Pisces, Aries, that, it's just like a cycle. And I feel like Pisces begins and ends the cycle, because it kind of takes us back to the all. It kind of takes us back to that just pure, like spirit, and pure, like just triple black almost. That's kind of what I see Pisces as. So where we'll start is, we're in the triple black. We're with Pisces, right? And so next thing you know, whoosh, that flame, that single flame, that blue flame, that flame that burns really bright and really hard. It's that baby-like energy. The flame of consciousness is Aries, right? So Aries is like the baby, but it's a baby only because it goes by just its instinct. It's not intellectually, thinking about things. It's not, seeing how it feels, like what is it emotions saying. It's just saying, okay, I am going by my instinct. I instinctively want to lead. I instinctively want to, trailblaze. I instinctively want to be my own boss and be my own leader, because it's just me. Aries is the I, right? So it's just me. I'm going through, so say for instance, we're going to start this thing off like Aries is like in a forest. And so the Aries is running through the forest, and it's just them, and they're going to fight anybody that comes up. They're going to be, be the warrior anytime they need to be the warrior. They're going to lead. They're going to, get out here and go for it, because that's all they know instinctually. That's why it is the kind of like the first sign. So then boom, once you leave Aries, you're going into Taurus. So I've saw this, I've understood this. I was so inspired to get out here in this life, so inspired to do all of these things. And so once I started, getting out, running out into the forest, I need to find a home. I need to find somewhere where I can be comfortable, where I can be stable. A tree I always know that I'm going to go to, or, just a home. So then it's like a home within self. It's not like the outer home. It's just like the home within self, that stability within self, the things that mean comfort to you. And it's a earth sign. So these are things that are on earth. So Taurus, we're talking about a forest. So you may have found like this warm little like space over there in the woods, in the forest, after you've been running and leading and fighting and, doing this, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna build this little covering right here for myself, just like a little covering for me, so that I could be comfortable here. And then I'm gonna eat my luscious fruit, and then I'm gonna make it pretty. I'm gonna make it beautiful. I'm gonna make it something that I love, and I'm gonna be grounded in that. So we're talking about grounded energy. That's why Taurus is like a stubborn energy, because they're stubborn in what it is that they see as comfort, what it is that they feel is comfort. what it is, their resources, what it is that they're bringing to the table. That is where they want to plant themselves. That is where they want to stay. And so that's why people often say, oh, the Taurus energy is kind of lazy, or whatever the case may be. And that's because it just wants to ground, because it already ran and it already went through the forest and did all of this stuff with Aries. So now Taurus energy, it is more grounded, and it is more wanting to be comfortable, right? So then after we wanted to be comfortable, we sit at the house, we sitting under this little tree branch, we chilling, we kind of safe from the rain a little bit. Then we say, well, damn, what is this? Where am I? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is this? Where am I? How have I, how did I get here? How can I learn more about this place, this forest, this earth? How can I learn more about this? Learn more about my surroundings. And then I learned that it's good and bad. Male and female. Light and darkness. I'm starting to see the daytime. I'm starting to see the nighttime and realize, what is all this? So then I start taking in information. This is Gemini. Then I start taking in information and I start learning information. That's why Geminis are very, 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 very intellectually adept and intellectually equipped. They are very intelligent because they are equipped to take in information, and then they want to communicate and talk to themselves. The person who wrote the Bible was probably a Gemini. And I say that because it was so far back in the times that they were writing on scribes. Like the first people that probably wrote on scribes is like that Gemini energy, like realizing, like we're living in a place that has polarities. We are living in a place that has like good and bad type of thing. And I think that Gemini also represents when humanity, that energy, kind of started to understand like about like the secrets of where it is that you live, and where it is that we live. And so that's why they have like esoteric astrology, like the Scorpio and Gemini, they have like similar, like things that connect them. Mercury, things that connect them, because when in Gemini, you still are learning the secrets about life that's around you, and you can't learn about the life that's around you unless you're learning the light and the darkness, unless you're learning the truth, the given truth, and then the secret hidden truth. So Gemini is always learning, and so that's why people say, oh, well, Geminis are, two-faced, or they're this, they're that. No, they just can play both sides. They just can play both polarities, and be comfortable in that. So then after you've learned all of this, you've learned about what this life is, and then you get to Cancer, and now you want to know, well, who came before me? Who are my ancestors? Did I have people that were here before me? Like, where did I come from? Was there anybody that looked like me? Was there anybody that thought like me, felt like me? Where's my family? Where's my family? How did I get here? And then you start feeling, and then you start going into like intuition and going into like that meditative state. You're in Cancer now. And you start kind of wondering a little bit more about the water and what's going on in the ocean, and did life come from here? Did I come from here? What really is going on? Like, how can I use my intuition, which I'm connected to an intuitive source? I'm realizing that how can I use that? And then also, you're so comfortable by this part because you already got comfortable in Taurus. Then you start getting more comfortable because you're learning about where you are in Gemini. And so now you've gotten so comfortable that you're like, I just may get pregnant. I just may get pregnant. I just may, learn about from a first-hand perspective what this life is all about, because now I can be a mother. I can be that Cancer energy. I can create a home, with other people outside of myself. And I can kind of create a home dynamic that resembles where I came from, that resembles my ancestors. And I learn about those things intuitively, because remember, our souls are in the skin, right? So you can learn about your ancestors and things like that intuitively through your own being, through meditation, through silence, through things like that. You can learn about your own being. And so that is the brink of intuition. That is the brink of emotion and the ocean. And that is where Cancer, that's what Cancer represents. And it's also a cardinal sign. So cardinal is just like kind of like the beginning, right? And so after Cancer, now you move into Leo, and Leo is like, baby, I'm the shit, honey. You can't tell me nothing. I don't need you to build me a pedestal, because I already built me a pedestal, and I know I am divine. I am divine creation, and I'm passionate about what it is that I do. I'm passionate about my talents. I'm passionate about my gifts, because I learned about those things through Cancer, because I learned about my birthrights. I learned about my ancestors. I learned about the people and the things that occurred that came before me. I learned about that in Cancer. I learned more about who I really am, and why I'm really here. And so now I'm beating on my chest, honey. I am the king. I'm the king, queen of this jungle. I'm going to shine my light. I am super purposeful. I have talents and creativity that I want to express, because this is how I want to express myself and express what I have gained so far. And honey, I'm it. Period. And I don't need anyone to tell me that I'm not. This is the human creation. I am a human. I am born in the likeness of God. I am what I am that I am. Leo, the heart. It's like the ego. It's the thing that protects you. It protects your innocent spirit from anything that could happen, because you're standing up to whatever and you're like, hey, this is it. I'm perfect. I'm amazing right here where I am. I can look at myself so long in this mirror and look at my reflection so long, to the point where I'm looking into the black mirror. I start to know so deeply who I am, to the point where I am in love with myself. And so that's why Leo borderlines like narcissism, and that is born from there, because it goes to an egoic place instead of like, I love myself, like from a heart space. So it can kind of go either way. So then you have Leo. And so then after you leave Leo, then you have Virgo. So now Virgo is like, well, I need to learn a little bit more about this. Let me fix this up. You got something missing right here. Let me make some adjustments here, so that let spirit at this point is making adjustments to itself, because all of these signs are only expounding upon each other. So spirit at this point is making an adjustment. It's making adjustments to itself, right? So when it comes to Virgo, now you are like, okay, well, I got to get this harvest together, because now I know what I can do as a human. I'm learning more about what I can do as a human, and I have to make adjustments to how my human self is moving. I have to work to make adjustments. I have to learn more so that I can do better and make adjustments. The mama mentality, all of that type of stuff. Like, Kobe's a Virgo, right? Beyonce's a Virgo. Michael Jackson is a Virgo. These people who consistently want to get better, that consistently knowing that I can always, like make adjustments. I can make an adjustment here. I'm perfect. That's Leo, yeah. But let me make this adjustment here. Let me make that adjustment here. Let me do this. Let me learn this. And Virgos, that energy is very, 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 smart in a way where it's an innate knowledge, smart in a way where they're just looking at things and how they are analyzing things in their mind. It's allowing them to be able to help people on getting better, be able to help themselves on getting better, because they're super analytical in the way that they're it's like an energy that's analyzing in a way that the normal eye would not analyze. Why? Because they have to pick up the crops. They have to pick up the crops. They have to pick up the harvest of what Leo has created. Now Virgo is picking up the harvest. I'm getting the rewards back from what it is that I've planted versus what it is that I've reaped in my creativity and in who I've been and what I've done up to this point. Now it's time for me to reap the harvest. And from Aries to here, now it's time for me to reap the harvest. And to reap the harvest, I have to be able to make the adjustments that I need to make in order for me to reap the harvest. Boom. Now you got Libra. Libra is like, hey, we need to get some balance here, because we've been a little bit out of balance. Like, how have our mannerisms been? You just got the harvest, but how are, what are you doing, intellectually, internally? Like, how are you feeling about yourself? Because Virgo is a very critical sign. So wait, how are you feeling about yourself? How are you feeling about other people? And how is that affecting the way that you're talking to people, you're treating people? How is that affecting your justice? How is that affecting your fairness? How is that affecting, like, how you're seeing the world? Is it balanced? We're talking about ma'at here. So we're talking about your heart being as light as a feather, because you've gone through all of this, criticism, whether it be from other people or whether it be from yourself. You've gone through the criticism, because you've gone through Virgo. And so now we need to make sure that your heart is intact. We need to make sure that you haven't been, overly criticizing others or yourself. We need to make sure, let's go through this harvest and let's see what we got out of here. Do we got some good stuff that we can use, or is this all trash, based on like how you, have came from Aries on through here. So Libra wants to make sure that there's balance. So that's why Libras are very diplomatic. Libras want to be very fair. Libras really never, because the scales are always like this. The scales are always moving. So, it's just like learning that balance and that dance between yourself and the other, because the other just you just doggone near cut your own self down in Virgo, because it was that like kind of critique and you wanted to be pure. And so now with Libra, it's like, I don't think I'm gonna cut myself that much, and I don't think I'm gonna cut you that much. And then this other person is like, well, I don't want to cut you that much either. But sometimes people cut, and so you're trying to like do that dance with each other, and you're looking at this person like, oh damn, that's a mirror. So for the first time, another person has been interjected into the Zodiac. So now this is a mirror. Now you have to be fair to somebody. You've critiqued, you've done all this stuff to yourself, and so now you're going to look at the other parts of you through others, and you're going to try to be diplomatic there, right? So then after Libra, you're moving into death. You're going into Scorpio. That's why we had to make sure that your heart was pure. Your heart was as light as a feather with that other person. No matter the transgressions or anything that has occurred, you have to be balanced within yourself, because now you're about to go to death. And when you go to death, all your darkness, all that stuff that, that happened, occurred, your traumas, all of that type of things, you're going to have to see those things, and you're going to have to gain control. Scorpio is about control and power. You're going to have to gain control over self. Scorpios always want to have more power than the other person. They always want to be in control or be in power. But at the end of the day, you have to have power over yourself and be able to pull those demons that you harness from the root. Because you can't just try to cut them off at the head. You have to go down to the ugly, buckly, duckly, all of that stuff that has come with you from lifetimes and lifetimes. You have to get to the bottom of it, pull it from the root in order to truly be healed and transformed, right? You're healed and transformed through Scorpio, through going through your trauma, going through your power, going through the control that you have over yourself, because honestly, that's the only thing that you'll ever control is self. And in controlling self, in controlling your own kingdom of God, so many other things come unto you. So moving on from Scorpio. So boom, now after you've gone to the dark and you've learned the truth about who you are and the secret knowledge about who you are, what we've gone through as a people, you know, like the generational, like, you know, like traumas or the generational just things, you've learned about that by going through the dark. And once again, we talked about all of this starting from the triple black. So you just went back to the dark. You just went back to the dark and you uncovered some stuff. That's why Scorpio is it's also analytical like Virgo, because it's analyzing things, because I'm down here in hell looking around trying to see, okay, well, why is that there? And then using my brain and it's not really even my brain, it's like I'm using my intuition. That's why Scorpio deals with things that are under the table, not over it. I'm a Scorpio sun, so I'm reading the room like immediately. Sometimes not even like intentionally doing it, but I'm already reading you because I'm seeing you. And that is the plight of Scorpio, because you see people, that energy sees people. And sometimes you want to have power over them because you see them. Sometimes you want to have control over them because you see them. But, I mean, you need to just have control over yourself, because I see you, and, you know, at the end of the day, I just have to, you know, like, roll on with it. You know, it is what it is. And so, boom. So after you learn the truth about, you know, what is really going on here, remember I said Gemini and Scorpio were connected, because remember, you learned in Gemini that it was polarities, that it was good and bad, that it was male and female, that it was light and darkness. So then now you come into Scorpio and you learn more about the occult truths, more about magic and the things that, you know, are under the radar and under the surface. Sex, taboo topics, you know, things like that, how you regenerate during sex, like what the act of sex really is. You know, you're learning about all of those things through the Scorpio energy. So then after Scorpio, now you're in Sagittarius energy. So you've got fire under your butt, because you know the truth. You've experienced the truth. You've seen the truth. You've seen people. You've seen this. So now with Sagittarius, you're like, baby, I'm about to shoot my arrow. I'm about to roll with it. I'm going right after what it is that I know is true, what it is that I know is my purpose, my path, and the truth for me. So that's why Sagittarius is talking about your beliefs, because out of the dark, you get your beliefs. You know, like people go through things in life, you know, go through the dark night of the soul and stuff like that. And when they come out of that, a lot of times that changed their beliefs, that changed how they saw themselves, that changed how they saw the world. And so now they are coming out with the beliefs. And then also Sagittarius is the preacher. So not only do I know the truth, I want you to know the truth, because I've had higher knowledge. I've learned about this stuff. I've studied this stuff. I've gone through, you know, and I'm wise. I'm wise to this stuff, and I want you to know about it too. So I'm going to preach the truth to you. I'm going to preach the truth to you. This is my truth. This is what I believe, and I believe that this is the truth. So that's when Sagittarius kind of gets a little, you know, it's kind of like, is it the truth or is it your truth? Because that's two different things. That's two different things. But for you and your body, it's like the same, you know. But when you start preaching and talking to other people, then, you know, it's kind of like Sagittarius can be like really righteous and really like preachy, and nothing's wrong with that, because they are sharing what it is that they see as the truth. And more than likely, a lot of times it is very close or similar to, you know, what the truth is, which none of us, we don't really fucking know what the truth is. Okay, so then after Sagittarius, so then boom, you go into, so you shot the arrow, and you know, you're on your way to truth. You shot the arrow, and then boom, when you get down the plane, you've learned all of this. Now you have to put it into practical use in the world, Capricorn. Now you have to put the knowledge that you've learned into practical use in Capricorn. Capricorn is climbing the mountain, and that's why it's also ruled by Saturn, so it takes time to climb the mountain. You're not climbing the mountain in a day, and the mountain is enlightenment. The mountain is enlightenment, but it's enlightenment, and since it's an earth sign, it wants to gain this enlightenment on the earth through earthly things, earthly possessions, materialism. This is what enlightenment looks like to us. Oh, this person must be very amazing in life. They have a Jaguar. This person must have done so much, and they have to be great. They have a mansion. So this is what we're looking at when we're examining what Capricorn looks like to us in our lives. But what Capricorn really is behind that is the enlightenment and the climbing of the mountain, right? The climbing of a mountain of enlightenment to get to the top of the mountain. So that means that you have to overcome addictions. That means that you have to overcome inhibitions that you may have, fears that you may have, all of those things, because Capricorn is the sea goat. So once again, Pisces is the beginning and the end. It's the sea. So Capricorn came from the sea, and it decided it wanted to come onto land, and it decided it wanted to climb the mountain in human existence of enlightenment. This is why we're here. That's why Capricorn is at the top. This is why it's at the 10th house. It's how people see you. It's the top of the chart. It's the top of the chart because this is why you're here to a certain degree. Wherever Capricorn in your chart is, it has a lot to do with why you're here, how you're going to be able to sustain yourself, make money through your purpose, and live a life, that you want to live as far as materialistically here on this earthly plane. But Capricorn knows the truth, so it seeks enlightenment. So it's climbing the mountain. Sometimes it takes time to climb the mountain because you got to get past all of the stuff that you knew from the sea, which is the deepest, darkest parts of yourself, that triple black. So once you go past, you get to the top of the mountain, you're like, ooh, child. And I got to the top of the mountain. Now you're talking about Aquarius. Aquarius has the water, the divine nectar that it wants to pour into the people, because you get to the top of the mountain. Capricorn cannot forget about its people. Capricorn is going to try to bring its people up with it. Capricorn is going to try to enlighten its people. It's going to try to help its people. Capricorn is a team player. Capricorn wants success. Don't get it twisted. But it also wants other people to be successful. So then that's why it moves into the Aquarius. And now Aquarius wants to lead you to the future. Aquarius wants to detach from those emotions. I'm going to detach from the bullshit that's going on down at the bottom of the mountain. I'm going to detach from, the stuff that's going on completely in mankind, because I can't take all of that emotion on. I can't take all of that on, so I'm going to detach from it, but I'm still going to feed you this divine nectar. That's why it's the water barrier. So once again, we're talking about water, water, water. These last three things all have something to do with water. You had the sea goat, the water bearer. Now you're going into a water sign, which is Pisces. So Aquarius is the water. It's the water bearer. Water is the beginning of life. It's the beginning and the end, because it's a spiritual sense. They say things, if you date back, a lot of life started in the sea, right? So you're giving back to your community through Aquarius, and you're shining in a very Leo way, because once again, you know who you are. It's back to that Leo. You're knowing who you are. I know that I'm amazing. I know that, I have this individuality that makes me special, that makes me different. I know that. And so Aquarius has that type of energy, has that type of intellect. Aquarius is very smart. They're a wealth sign. They're a sign that is always moving forward. They're always ahead of the curve and ahead of, what's about to come. That's why they're trying to give you the divine nectar so that you can get with it. We're in Aquarius age right now. So that means that we're moving into the future. This is the future. The robots, the technology, all of that stuff, the internet, how it's taken over, how all of this stuff, this is Aquarian energy, right? So then after that, boom, after Aquarius, you're gonna move to Pisces. So we're going back. We're at the top of the mountain. So remember, we're at the top of the mountain, so we're close up to the sky. And so then when we get into Pisces, we're just going to transcend into the sky. Boom. And we're gone. We're going back into transcendence. We're going back into the triple blackness. We're going back into where it is that we came from. So Pisces, a lot of times that energy is very empathetic. It's very compassionate. It's very intuitive. Always feeling things that are not seen, because it's like 1 foot here on the earth and then 1 foot in the ethers. So a lot of Pisces energy likes to be alone. It likes to be secluded. It likes to be to itself, you know, because the Pisces energy is an energy is already encompassing the all. It's already encompassing that. And so sometimes it needs to break away from actual other people and the things that are on the earth. And it needs time to be alone and to be in silence, to be in meditation, to be in the triple black energy, to really harness the spiritual powers and the spiritual gifts of Pisces. Because to be born of Pisces is to be born very spiritually inclined, or if you have 12th house placements, or, you know, things like that. To be born of Pisces is to be very spiritually inclined. And so you have to take that time to be able to give yourself that, because what I've noticed about the Pisces energy, if it is not spiritually inclined and tapping into spirit, then it kind of gets lost here in this world. It kind of gets lost in fantasy and dream-like things and just illusioned, foggy, because it's not tapping into spirit as much as it needs to tap into spirit, because spirit is Pisces. I mean, it's really, that's why I say it's the beginning and the end. It's the, to me, like, it's the alpha and the omega. Like, and not to say that, you know, Pisces energy is like, oh, superior to everyone else's energy or anything like that. But what I'm saying is, this is a energy which is the bridge between matter. It's the bridge between matter and spirit. So that bridge is super important. And so, yeah, that is the story of the Zodiac. That is how it all comes. So now we know that it's not just a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's more so just like a wheel of never-ending energy that's evolving, that's moving through the energy, and how we are here to get better. We are here to change. We are here to evolve, because that's exactly what the Zodiac does. The Zodiac betters itself in each sign. The Zodiac changes, like, in each sign. The Zodiac evolves in each sign. So I'll be back doing more videos. Thank you all for tuning into this video. Super appreciative. Just, you know, like, share, subscribe. If you have questions, let me know. Also, you can reach out to and book your natal chart reading with me at empressandemperor.org. We're a nonprofit that we believe in holistic health for all people from all over the world. Everybody should have equal opportunity to holistic health and to be exposed to what it is to be holistically healthy. So thank you so much for watching, and you all have a great night. 34 minutes. Best I can do.